JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of WPIAL High School Basketball, produced by JRM Video Productions.
Welcome to North Hills in the PBC Hall of Fame Classic. It's Steel City High School Hoops on SportsNet Pittsburgh between the Aliquippa Clips and the Penn Hills Indians. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at North Hills. Austin Bechtel joined alongside Nathan Breisinger. And Nate, this should be an incredible game between an Aliquippa team who is the defending 2A WPIAL and PIAA champions and a Penn Hills team with a lot of firepower, a lot of talent. These two teams met in this same classic last year and played a thriller. It was a low-scoring game, but a very close game it was.
Yeah, it was a 47-43 game, and the coaches described it as more of a football-type physical game. Tonight it's going to be more up-tempo, fast, athletic. It's going to be a great matchup between these two.
And a lot of stars all over the place for both teams. And for Penn Hills, it starts with Amon Hawthorne. They want him to score 20 points to be able to have a good, realistic chance against a very good Aliquippa team with Hawthorne averaging about 17 points per game.
Yeah, but our player to watch, though, for this one, for Penn Hills, is Calix Clark. He's also averaging right there around 17 points per game. And he's going to be a guy that needs to supplement Hawthorne for the Penn Hills Indians tonight.
Clark and Hawthorne right around the 17 per game mark, but they can't top what Josh Pratt has been doing this season for Aliquippa. The junior guard at 6'2" has been a star and one of the best players in the Whitfield.
And as you see, 22.9 points per game. He's just been outstanding, and he's getting a lot of looks from D1 schools. Got offers from Robert Morris, Fairfield, Pepperdine, Hofstra, Northeastern, where his brother L.A. Pratt plays. This kid can do it all. He's smooth. He's a great shooter. He's elusive. He's just a well-rounded player. And as a junior, starting to step into more of a leader-type role, taking more of a pride of playing defense as well.
Josh Pratt will play in this game tonight. Aliquippa only had 5 available players in yesterday's game against Freedom. They won 87-18. That's how good the Aliquippa Clips are. They have 3 losses on the season, 11-3 overall. They're 8-0 in section play, 3A Section 1. Those 3 losses came against teams outside of the WPIAL. And there's John Tucci, one of the most incredible men you'll ever meet, one of the most patriotic men you'll ever meet, getting ready to sing the national anthem here at North Hills. Aliquippa and Penn Hills, what should be a thrilling basketball game, and it's next on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the red ones we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang there, the bombasting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and of the brave?
Introducing the GBUs, starting lineups as they go. First for the Penn Hills Indians, it's led by, as they told you, number 1, Calix Clark, a junior 6'2 forward, with Campbell Glenn, a junior 6'2 forward wearing number 3. Amon Hawthorne, a junior 6'2 guard, wears number 5. Todd Bishop, a senior 6-foot guard, wears 15. And Jaden Noel, a junior 5'7 guard, wearing number 42. In a young starting lineup for Penn Hills, for head coach Chris Giles at 8-7 overall. Penn Hills is 4-3 on the road this year, and neutral sites, they are 0-3. For the Aliquippa Quips, the defending 2A, WPIAL, and state PIAA champions at 11-3 overall. Marcus Council starts it off, the sophomore 6'1 guard wearing number 3. Josh Pratt, the star junior guard, wears number 4. Khalil Good, the junior 6'2 guard, wears number 5. Rashawn Banks, the senior 5'11 guard, wears 11. And Mikey Gaskins, a senior 6-foot forward, wears number 15 for the Quips. Led by Nick Pakovich, the 2024 WPIL champion, as we mentioned, a team that went 26-5 and said, I asked him, what is the model of consistency for Aliquippa basketball? Whether it's football, basketball, Aliquippa is more successful than some colleges and professional sports teams. And he said it's just the will to win and the will to be great, and that they want it more than everyone else. And it's proven in Aliquippa.
It's the high compete level there, and last year they doubled down, winning both football and basketball state titles. The only other Whitfield team to do so was led by Terrell Pryor at Jeanette in 2007 and 2008. So, I mean, that just goes to tell you what this program, what this school brings, and this is going to be an excellent matchup tonight right here, heading into the stretch run of the season.
But Lakovich will be without Jeremiah Pratt, the freshman 5'10 guard, wearing number 2, will not be on the floor today. Same thing with the freshman Anthony Ingram, not expected to play tonight for Aliquippa, who currently has 4 guys situated on their bench. And Lakovich did not coach in the game last night either against Freedom. It was up to his assistants after the altercation that occurred against Amani Christian on the 18th.
And it was a 69-point thumping, too. I mean, just tells you again.
5 players, and it didn't matter that no one came off the bench.
And tonight, they're only looking about 3 guys off the bench as well. So Antonio Reddick, maybe an option, Yardley Bailey, and Parchment as well for the Quips.
Penn Hills wins the tip, and we're underway with Penn Hills attacking the left side basket. As you see it, Austin Beck told Nathan Brasinger alongside here on SportsNet Pittsburgh. Into the hands of Clark. Swinging it around to Hawthorne. Hawthorne almost got it poked away by Pratt. Gets a screen. Hawthorne attacks the right side of the floor. Puts it up off the window. Can't go. Second chance effort, though, for Bishop. Can't fall. And Aliquippa able to clear. Josh Pratt averages 22, 23 a game. Right in that range. A scoring machine, as coach called him. He's got it back up top. Not a good. Good, gets a screen from Gaskins. Tried to find him, deflected on the way there. Gaskins trying to grab at the basketball, and it's deflected, last touched out of bounds. Off of Penn Hills, it'll stay with Aliquippa.
And Penn Hills coming off of a 44-42 win over Armstrong last night, so much closer game than Aliquippa was a part of. And a game that Armstrong could have won at the buzzer, but they came out on top. It's a young team. We talked, Chris Giles talked about, a younger team still growing.
Cam Glenn shot gets blocked by Good in transition. Able to recover, though, and will reset right at half court. Hawthorne to Noel. Noel up top. Bishop swings it back to Hawthorne. Hawthorne with some space. Got around Pratt. 3-point ball up for Clark. Off the back of the rim. Rebound by Noel. Clark lost the basketball. We'll stay here with Penn Hills. And the record's kind of deceiving for Penn Hills. They're 8-7 overall, but they're 7-1 in section play, 5A section 2.
Again, heating up at the right time. 5 of their last 6 have been wins. Close one against Armstrong, and then game before against Hampton, another overtime win, 51-46. So playing in a couple close games, have the Penn Hills Indians.
Khalil Good swings it around to Council. Now Pratt, Josh Pratt, poked away by Hawthorne. That's the matchup to watch tonight. Pratt against Hawthorne. what's the key to stopping Josh Pratt? Chris Giles said there really isn't one. He's going to get his, try to slow him down as much as possible, try to limit the damage.
He's averaging 22 points a game, and you just look at his postseason play.
And Hawthorne pickpockets him. Great move to the basket, can't finish. And the rebound is corralled by Council. Up the floor goes Josh Pratt in transition. Pratt being hounded by Hawthorne, puts it up, can't finish. Hawthorne on the rebound. Looks to move in transition. Up the floor to Clark. Near side of the floor. Will now back it out.
Back-to-back tough takes for both Hawthorne and Pratt. Went into some traffic and just couldn't get a good look off.
Hawthorne a three, left side corner. Left it short, rebounded by Good. Council traveled. Turnover to the Indians, and 2.5 minutes in, we haven't had a basket yet.
Nothing going just yet. I mean, both teams getting the looks, getting some shots up, but nothing falling early in this one.
Hawthorne, the 6'2 junior with it. Guarded by Pratt. Down low, Clark. Trying to find space against Gaskins. Clark steps back and has to pass it out. Back to Hawthorne. Double team comes, almost deflected away. Clark in the corner for three. Touches the wire above the hoop and out of bounds.
Clark now a pair of looks from the corner. 3 minutes into this game, both just a little short. That one hopping up and going out of play, but you can see what Penn Hills wants to do. Ball movement on the perimeter, get it into Clark for a good look, but 0 for so far.
We saw Penn Hills deploy a press off the inbound. No made bucket yet. That was the first instance we got to see it. As Good off one dribble, pulls up and hits.
Beautiful stroke there by Good, who averages 16 points per game. And head coach Nick Lakovich talked about that recently. Good's just playing out of his mind. He's been really good for this Aliquippa team.
Council up the floor to Pratt. Can't finish, but will go to the line. Take another look at the bucket for Khalil Good. First points of the game, 4:33. Still to go in the first quarter of play, and Josh Pratt will shoot two.
Just a nice dribble into space there for Good as well, and just able to knock that down.
He's able to make the first. Pratt, really an effortless scorer. He seems like he glides to the basket when he drives.
Number 0, Aiden Thompson. And number 20, Cody Hunt.
I mean, he just does. I mean, last year I had a chance to see him, you know, at the Whitfield Championships, at the first round of state playoffs at Chartiers Valley when they played Fort Cherry, and he just went off. And you just look at the stat numbers for Pratt last year in the postseason.
He balled out.
He balled out. 33 in the Whitfield title game against Greensburg Central Catholic. In the state title game against Holy Cross, 36. I mean, just unbelievable numbers for this kid. Still a lot of room to grow, too. Just a junior.
Aiden Thompson into the game for Penn Hills, and a jump ball is called as Thompson tried to get two different pass attempts off and threw it right into Aliquippa defenders on both instances, and the possession arrow favoring the Quips. Wide open shot. Why not take it? Off the mark, though, for Banks. And the rebound is cleared by Bishop. Cody Hunt also into the game for Penn Hills, wearing number 20.
Entering the game for Aliquippa, number 1, Antonio Reddick.
Antonio Reddick, number 1, subs in for Aliquippa.
Number 2, Ahmad Brown.
Ahmad Brown subs in for Penn Hills. Thrown up towards the hoop towards Thompson. It's like an alley-oop attempt. Trying to connect.
It was a good thought, but he was about half a foot too short to go up and get that one, Aiden Thompson, who stands at 5'10".
I think this would be called uncatchable in football.
No flag.
Good with it up the floor. Being guarded by Glenn. To the corner and Pratt. Pratt got it knocked away. He's got it back. Good. Has some room. Drives to the basket. Shot won't count on the floor.
No basket.
Foul called against Penn Hills, and they're going to get Hawthorne for his first.
So far, you've seen both Pratt and Good be the catalyst of this offense. Again, we talked about Good, 16 points per game. Just a good all-around player for this Aliquippa team. Good secondary option behind Josh Pratt.
Calyx Clark returns for Penn Hills. Inbound right into Pratt. Three-pointer up and in. Money ball, Josh Pratt. Give him 4 points in the game. It's a 6-0 lead for the Quips. And halfway through the quarter, Penn Hills still doesn't have a basket.
Again, you mentioned it, Austin, and Nick Lakovich talked about it. Effortless. I mean, just flawless, seamless, whatever you want to say about the way Josh Pratt shoots. Just a quick catch and release off the inbounds pass. Great play call, great design there to get him open into space. And he's going to make that every day of the week.
Yeah, Nick Lakovich has to like what he's seen on both ends of the floor so far as Clark goes to the line and makes the first.
Back in the game for the Indians, number 42, Jaden Knoll.
Foul was called on Khalil Good, his first. It's the first foul against Aliquippa in the game. And Clark able to knock in the first 2 points of the game for Penn Hills. Josh Pratt gives it over to Good. Looking to try to set up Pratt again. Gets it off the handoff. Pratt dribbles into a three and 10x. Money ball, Josh Pratt, 2 threes. Give him 7 points and a timeout called by Penn Hills.
Just so smooth. I mean, we're going to be talking about Josh Pratt all night long, and that's what he can do. You can't give him a ton of space, and you can see just a little bump there by Khalil Good to give Pratt some space, and a switch that wasn't executed by Penn Hills, and Pratt there knocks it down.
And his ability to create, whether it be off the ball, catch and shoot off his own shot like we saw on the inbounds play set up for him, or just off the dribble, one of the best players in this area, off the dribble, not afraid, quick release too on his shot to prevent defenders from being able to get over to him. And that's what contributes to scoring over 1,000 points on the season the Quips have, and 72 points per game for Aliquippa, one of the best marks in the area.
It's the 5th in the WPIAL and tops in Class 3A. So that just goes to tell you. And also, on the defensive end, they're only allowing 37.7 points per game. That's the second best in the WPIAL too. So, I mean, this team is just so well-rounded. And even when their bench is small and short without, some of the reserves, they're still able to get it done on both sides.
Taken away by Good, but a foul's called.
Touchy one there. I mean, Good was right there. Looked like his hand got in there just to get on the ball.
Quips foul on number 5, Khalil Good. His second.
And that's the second on Khalil Good.
Now in for Aliquippa, number 3, Marcus Council.
Aliquippa crushed Freedom 87-18 last night. You wonder, though, if there was foul trouble. The Quips would have had to have played with 4 players if somebody would have fouled out. Good has to be careful with the 2 fouls. He comes off the floor. Hawthorne's shot is off the mark, and Good brought it down into what eventually became a jump ball. And Coach Lakovich telling him just to try to rip at it because Penn Hills will take possession back.
Returning for Penn Hills, number 3, Cam Glenn.
Good defense there from Pratt as well. Does it on both ends.
And we're seeing it from the Aliquippa defense so far. And Penn Hills still without a field goal here.
As Calyx Clark on command, able to hit. All 4 points for Clark. He's chanting for his team, yelling at his teammates to try to get after it and get them fired up as Pratt fires away. Off the mark, bounces around a couple of times, into the hands of Reddick. Banks off the dribble. Gives it up to Council. Good pass down low. Can't finish, though, on the attempt. Second chance at it. Ball continues to be fought around for. As it's Cody Hunt now with it.
Really good opportunity there from Mike Gaskins. Just didn't get a really good shot off. Same way down here at the other end.
Ripped away by Banks. Banks looking for an outlet. Off one dribble, is able to connect. It's Reddick up the floor, trying to go through traffic and to get Jaden Noel for a foul. Push in the back.
Number 20, Cody Hunt.
They actually call it on Cody Hunt, rather, so just his first. And that's the third on Penn Hills in the quarter as Aiden Thompson returns for the Indians. Reddick with it. Defended well. Now Pratt. One-on-one with Hawthorne. Pratt, right side elbow, has to give it up to Banks. Reddick. Right near half court. Reddick. A good 5-second count, didn't get called though for Penn Hills. And Pratt traveled right near the Penn Hills bench. A little surprised by the call. Pratt was coming away from it with his hands in the air.
And Josh Pratt so far in this game, he's got a couple of open looks connected on them, but now we're seeing this must-see matchup between Pratt and Hawthorne, both 6'2 juniors. They're going to go back and forth this game, and so far Pratt has had the upper hand to open this one.
Three-pointer up in the corner, that's off the mark for Thompson. And a long-range pass to Pratt. Pratt in transition with Hawthorne defending. Pratt gets around him, plus the foul! Josh Pratt sidesteps two defenders, finds just a small amount of space to score.
That's just unreal balance and skill there by Pratt to get up still, absorbing contact and finish. Now heads to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Foul goes on Cam Glenn. It's his first. As Pratt can't hit off the back of the rim. Rebound to Gaskins. Three-pointer up for good. Misses. Hawthorne skies for the rebound. Pulled it down, though, to the point where Council can force a jump ball, and the possession arrow will keep it here with Aliquippa. Good will throw it in at the left side block. Into Pratt. Same play. Pratt. Not the same result, though. Long rebounds corralled by Hawthorne. Calix Clark, all 4 points for Penn Hills. Double team comes. Pratt picks his pocket. Josh Pratt all the way in for the layup.
He's just doing everything for this Quips team. And I mean, there's a reason why that there's Division I schools looking after Josh Pratt.
Calix Clark gets it to go.
Baseline runner by Calix Clark.
13-6, Aliquippa leads. Inside a minute left in the first quarter. Khalil Good tried to dribble in with three. Bounces, passes to Council, and now into the corner, it's Reddick. Penn Hill trying to pounce on the ball and force a steal. It's Good up top near half court in the final 30 seconds. To Reddick. Pratt's currently running the baseline. I think we'll try to set him up here at the end of the quarter, and he's got it now by the PIAA logo. Pratt guarded by Hawthorne. Pratt threw his legs a couple of times. Good defense from Hawthorne, has to pass it off. To Good. Pratt's got it with 8 seconds. Pratt hoists. Can't hit. Rebound goes to Good. Good pump fake, drives in, right hand, left side, can't finish. Gaskins on the follow, doesn't get it to go, and the quarter comes to an end. 13-6, Aliquippa with a great start to the game. Offensively and defensively, we go to the second quarter on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
Lincoln Park's film and broadcast track, in my opinion, is the way to go. The reason being is because you learn industry standard, and right out of high school you can land a job.
Doing that real world experience and hearing it from a teacher that's worked in the field, you get all those things that you'll automatically be able to do. It is actually so much fun to do a lot of different stuff that other people don't get to do anywhere.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair?
Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
So annoying! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
At Pizza Baldwin, the name says it all. Try one of our pizzas, subs, wings, salads, or calzones today. We use fresh, high-quality cheese every day to ensure the best-tasting pizza in Baldwin. Our homemade pizza sauce and vast selection of toppings will be sure to leave you saying, Visit us at 5001 Curry Road at the Curry Commons Plaza, or give us a call at 412-885-1005. We're also now hiring all positions.
The PBC Hall of Fame Classic at North Hills is brought to you by Martin Communications, Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar, and Chicken. Chicken, the sponsor of the post-game plaques given to the players of the game as well. Saw that for first two games, two thrilling games. Baldwin defeating North Hills in double overtime by 3. Bell Vernon victorious against Knock. Game 3 of our triple header here on SportsNet Pittsburgh in the Steel City High School Hoops Showcase. Austin Bechtold, Nathan Breisinger alongside from North Hills, where Aliquippa leads Penn Hills 13-6. And the Indians begin with the ball in the hands of Cam Glenn, right near the elbow. Drives towards the basket. Double team comes. Glenn just has to try to outlet it. He threw it in the direction of Bishop, but up the floor. It's Pratt for another easy layup.
13 points now for Josh Pratt. And he's either working hard for them or he's wide open to take it down the floor or hit a 3 and continues to just put them in.
Hawthorne was held off the score sheet in the first quarter. Can't get it to drop there. It's Khalil Good with 2 fouls back in the game. Council bounces off the rim. Long pass from Hawthorne that's taken away by Good.
Like a safety back there, just coming through, one-handed snag.
Good steps back, pulls from 3, left it short. Rebound corralled by Penn Hills. Clark up the floor, layup plus a foul for Cam Glenn. That's the first bucket for anyone other than Calix Clark in the game at the 7:02 mark in the second quarter.
They need to start getting some guys scoring the ball because, I mean, Aliquippa's defense has been ferocious, and something that Nick Lakovich said is they defend like nobody else. Aliquippa does that. Getting up in the faces, just bringing the pressure. And we've seen that so far, and Penn Hills has not been able to handle it for the most part. And just an easy, or not an easy, but a fast break opportunity for Penn Hills gets them a couple more points on the board.
That was the first foul on Council as well. So Council with a foul and Good with 2 for Aliquippa. Bounce pass to Pratt. Foul called against Cody Hunt. That's his second. So Good will inbound it on the near side of the floor. Jordan Hunt will come in to replace Todd Bishop for Penn Hills.
Number 14, Jordan Hunt, to number 5, Amon Hawthorne.
Hawthorne with a brief rest on the bench, also returns.
He's done that a couple times where they're just have him out for maybe 30-second clips at a time.
And just short breaths, trying to get somewhat of a rest as Pratt through traffic, can't finish, just knocked out of bounds. We'll go the other way.
Pratt there guarded by Cody Hunt, but it's Ben Hawthorne for the most part, and that's going to, wear you down trying to guard against Pratt. So you can see why they're trying to give him a little bit of rest here and there.
Trying to get the ball inbounds, and it goes to Glenn, who traveled right after he caught it. And Penn Hills just does not seem to be in sync in this game.
And a lot of it has to do, you have to give credit to Aliquippa, just the pressure they've brought. Full court press here on the inbounds.
Good gets it in. Mikey Gaskins back to Good on the ball fake. Now Reddick drives in. Reddick, left hand gets blocked on the way up. Cody Hunt got a hand on it. In transition comes Penn Hills. Clark sidesteps, can't finish. Rebound corralled by Cody Hunt, who throws it into the hands of Reddick. Antonio Reddick to Good. Reddick for 3. Misses. Bounced around twice into the hands of Reddick. Still available for Josh Pratt to have an open 3. Another miss, and Hawthorne falls to the floor as he caught it. Got to call a foul on the rebound attempt for Hawthorne against Aliquippa.
Very rare miss there from Pratt. A couple of opportunities from outside the arc that Aliquippa can't bury.
That's the second on Council, as Rashawn Banks will come back into the Clips. So the Clips with Banks, Good, Pratt, Council, and Gaskins on the floor. As Hunt goes all the way in, right hand on the left side, finishes.
Reverse layup, Cody Hunt.
What a take there by Cody Hunt, the 6-foot senior.
Good to Gaskins, gets it back. 5:48 to go second quarter in a 4-point game. Pratt knocked away by Hawthorne, but into the hands of Gaskins. Gaskins, Council, Good, up for 3, right side wing. Another missed shot for Aliquippa. Glenn hands it off, dangerous pass and taken away by Banks. Banks dribbles through traffic, pulls up long range for 3. Off the back of the rim, and it hit the wire up top, so we've seen that on both ends of the floor now. It'll be out of bounds for Penn Hills to set up and see if Aliquippa deploys the press in a 15-11 game. Clock stops at 5:18.
Offensively, we're starting to see Aliquippa slow down just a little bit, but nothing's changed on the defensive end. Just because Penn Hills has gotten a couple more points, I mean, Aliquippa's just playing so aggressive, very active with their hands, forcing a lot of turnovers.
And you see them to bring this trap that Penn Hills just tries to break out of.
And it almost worked there, but luckily thrown back into a Penn Hills teammate.
Another long-range pass to Hawthorne that Pratt was ready for. Hawthorne cross court. Clark drives, now has to dish it. Hawthorne dribbles into a three. Missed everything and rebounded by Good.
And that's the type of shots they're forced to take because of how up close and personal this Aliquippa defense is becoming.
Gaskins is bumped by Jordan Hunt, the 6'3" senior wearing number 14 for his first.
Number 14, Jordan Hunt, his first, team second.
It's the second against Penn Hills in the quarter. Both teams with 2 fouls in the second quarter of play.
Number 42, Jaden Knoll.
We see the struggles from Penn Hills offensively, but you know, when we talked to Chris Giles, fifth-year head coach for Penn Hills, he talked about this team's young, work in progress a little bit. So when you're facing such a talented team in Aliquippa, so good and versed on defense, it's gonna take a while to really get in and get your offense into rhythm when we haven't seen it yet for Penn Hills.
Pratt double team, foul called against Thompson, and Hawthorne was also there. They're gonna get Hawthorne, that's his second.
Penn Hills foul on number 5, Amon Hawthorne, his second.
And it looked,
team third.
Yeah, it looked like the left arm of Thompson came down on Pratt. Surprised, and Hawthorne was too, that the foul was called against him. Jaden Knoll is back into the game, 42. Knoll out there for Penn Hills with the defense against Banks. To Gaskins, left it short. Into the hands of Hawthorne. It's about half the quarter gone by. Here's Knoll, Jaden Knoll. Bounce pass. Hawthorne, open look. Can't convert.
Hawthorne's been way off. He needs one just to fall to try to get a little bit into a rhythm here. No points so far.
Missed shot for Good. Follows, though, with the layup.
Put back by Khalil Good.
No points for Hawthorne, and also 2 fouls as well for the junior.
And Hawthorne has had a couple of decent looks. As Cam Glenn swings it over to Hunt. Here's Thompson. No points tonight for him either. And not on that possession. He traveled, turning it back over to the Quips.
Now 8 for the Indians.
Take another look at the sequence for Good. After he missed from the elbow, realized it. And what did you say? Follow your shot. Sometimes good things can happen. And it did for Good.
It's a heads-up play. And again, Penn Hills caught watching, looking for the rebound to come off, and Good knew where it was going to land. Got in there in a hurry, averaging 8 rebounds per game. So that's continuing there for the junior, 6'3" junior.
Aliquippa calls timeout in what's a 6-point game. So when you look at how the game has played out for Penn Hills, Hawthorne has not scored. Bishop has not scored. Jaden Knoll has not scored. 3 out of your 5 starters have not factored in on the score sheet yet. Calix Clark with 6, Cam Glenn with 3, Cody Hunt with 2 off the bench. Only 11 points in the first half of play. And we're talking about 2 teams that like to play up-tempo, fast, and score a lot of points. This is looking very much similar to that game a year ago with a score in the 40s.
Yeah, 47-43 game that Aliquippa won. And you're starting to see that as well. And we talking to both coaches, they wanted to play more up-tempo, score the ball a lot, and just haven't seen it yet. Penn Hills, rather, a team that scores 60.9 points per game, and they've been well below their average for the past couple of games. Only 44 points at Armstrong, a tough place to play, though, in section going up there. And then the game before that, they scored 51 in an overtime game. So you get 4 periods and you only put in 51 points. I mean, below their average. So need to see Penn Hills offense get going here, or else they're going to be in trouble, especially if Pratt and Aliquippa starts putting in the ball a little bit more.
Aliquippa defensively in its last 2 games has only given up 38 points. Pratt for 3. Another one that misses for Josh Pratt after a hot start. He has more points than Penn Hills does in the game, but has missed on his last few attempts and now picks up a foul. Actually, a jump ball's called.
Jump ball. Possession quits.
And the possession error will go to Aliquippa. Really thought that this was going to be a reach on Pratt. We'll take another look.
Yeah, let's see this again.
It didn't seem like it was long enough to force a jump ball.
Interesting. I mean, the ref right there, it looked like his right hand grabbed the back of him, but that left hand was on the ball.
Good, gets it knocked away. Stolen away by Aiden Thompson. Thompson all the way in, can't finish. Gets his own miss though and puts it up on the left side, plus the foul.
We're back in the foul, Aiden Thompson.
Aiden Thompson with a chance for a three-point play.
Huge bucket there for Aiden Thompson and the Indians. Maybe to see their offense get going, but it started on the defensive end, turning defense into offense with the steal. And on a secondary opportunity, it's Thompson able to put it in, draw the foul.
Number 14, Tevon Parchman Jr.
Tevon Parchman Jr. comes in for Aliquippa for the first time. Freshman forward as Good picks up his third. Perfect for Thompson at the line. Parchman's first time to touch it. Now back up top. Banks, guarded by Knoll. Banks goes all the way in. Right-handed floater, bounces off the mark, and it's rebounded by Hawthorne. Back to Hawthorne, almost a travel. Hawthorne drives on the side of the floor, has a lane, off the window, and scores. Hawthorne's first points come with 2:17 left to go in the first half.
And it's brought Penn Hills within one. Outscoring the Quips 10-4 in this quarter.
Banks double teamed. Cross court, good look to Council. Council off one dribble, turns around, left it short, tries to follow on the miss. On the attempt, it was Parchman who did a good job of heading right to the bucket after the miss. Foul is called.
Foul number 15, Todd Bishop.
Foul goes on Todd Bishop, his first. We take another look at the Hawthorne drive.
Well, that's exactly what Hawthorne can do, and we've seen him take quite a few looks from outside and just been well off. Something to get him going there, driving inside with the right hand. It was a guy that head coach Chris Giles said really needs to be a guy up towards 20 points a game, at least today, 20 points. Someone who averages 17 points a game, and they need him to get going, and finally gets one to go.
Trying to get it from Hawthorne and Clark right around that mark as Pratt drives all the way in. Can't get it to roll in. Offensive rebound to Gaskins for the floater.
Basket for the Quips.
First points for Gaskins. Guy who's just a team player for this Aliquippa team. Lakovich describing him as an unsung hero type of player for the Quips this year.
Somebody who's not afraid to do everything, as you mentioned. Dive on the floor for loose balls, be physical.
Possession.
Not take a huge role scoring-wise, as a jump ball will keep possession with Penn Hills. As Pratt drove in, shot we've seen him make a lot. And another offensive rebound for Aliquippa, a good feed. As Parchman Jr. has given Aliquippa some good minutes off the bench.
Yeah, with it, you know, he stole the words out of my mouth. I mean, Parchman just good vision. Didn't want to force it up on that play either and found Gaskins.
And a carry is called on Aiden Thompson.
We were just talking about that.
It's funny that, you know, you don't see carries called a lot in high school basketball. You don't really see it called in any area of basketball that much anymore compared to previous years, but carry called theirs.
Yeah, you see the wide dribbles sometimes, you know, on the side. Sometimes you're a little bit under, but really has to be egregious, and obviously the referees here felt that was.
Pratt has it. 70 seconds left in the half. Reddick bounces it to Council. Council has not scored today, does have 2 fouls. Drives to the basket, Council goes all the way in. Can't get it to bounce off the back of the rim. Council, though, gets his own miss, puts it up. Second chance at it, doesn't go. And it's trying to be ripped away by Bishop, and they get it up the floor. Bounce pass, Clark off one dribble. Jumper, misses. Rebound to Hawthorne. Hawthorne, cross court to Clark. Calix Clark, leading scorer for Penn Hills with 6. Hasn't scored in the quarter until now. 8 points for Clark. It's a 1-point game with 30 seconds left in the half.
What a take down the lane by Calix Clark. He was our player to watch for this game. And he's showing you why. 8 points now for Clark in this one, getting Penn Hills right back within 1.
Parchman can't get it to go as it's bounced out of bounds. Off the baseline, and after discussion, it will be Penn Hills' ball.
Just a great take inside. You see Parchman trying to get up, prevent or add some traffic in there for Clark. driving into the lane, and both these teams really get into the physical aspect of this game, something maybe we didn't expect as much because talking to the coaches, they wanted to be more athletic type game, speed.
Hawthorne gets it to go high off the window. First lead for Penn Hills. 4 for Hawthorne. Pratt is able to get space, but can't score off the back of the rim. What a response by Penn Hills to lead by 1, 20-19 in a low-scoring first half from North Hills.
Lincoln Park's film and broadcast track, in my opinion, is the way to go. The reason being is because you learn industry standard, and right out of high school, you can land a job.
Doing that real world experience and hearing it from a teacher that's worked in the field, you get all those things that you'll automatically be able to do. It is actually so much fun to do a lot of different stuff that other people don't get to do anywhere.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Back at halftime at the PBC Hall of Fame Classic, it's a one-point game. Penn Hills leading Aliquippa 20-19 at the end of the second quarter of play. And welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Austin Bechtold and Nathan Breisinger in what was a slow start for Penn Hills. Really ramped up in the second quarter. And they also slowed down Josh Pratt, who had 11 points in the first quarter. He ends the half with 13.
And it still feels like Penn Hills isn't really playing their best at this point in time. Second quarter was still a little rough around the edges, but they outscored the Quips 14-6 and got Hawthorne going a little bit. Calix Clark up to 8 points in the half. But Pratt still able to put in the ball for Aliquippa, 13 points. He's been excellent, but a couple more misses in that second quarter.
And Calix Clark has been one of the ultimate difference makers. It's taken Hawthorne some time to really get a feel for the game and be able to find his offensive threat driving to the basket that we saw in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, we saw Clark getting involved. Hawthorne got in there late in the second quarter, but Penn Hills has two other scorers, and Aliquippa needs a third or fourth touch. It's basically been Pratt. It's basically been good. That's been about it on the scoring end for Aliquippa.
Yeah, Marcus Council has not scored yet for the Quibs. And again, they're out Jeremiah Pratt, their star freshman, Josh Pratt's brother, not playing in this game today, typically in the starting lineup. It's currently a one-point game with Penn Hills leading Aliquippa 20-19. The first half highlights are next when you return to North Hills. 2019, the Indians lead the Quips by 1 point here at North Hills in the PBC Hall of Fame Classic. Austin Bechtold and Nathan Breisinger alongside as Chris Giles' team leads. Josh Pratt leads everyone on the score sheet with 13 points, but it's been a collective effort for Penn Hills, especially in the second quarter. After scoring only 6 points, the Indians are able to put 14 on the board to grab a 1 point advantage.
Yeah, it didn't come easy, and they were finally able to scrap away, get 14-6, outscoring the Quips. But it's been Josh Pratt for Aliquippa leading the way, as we expected. A guy that scores 22 points per game. The junior got a couple of breakaway attempts, able to put those home. But Penn Hills just slowly but surely able to get back in front in this one. Really, the first quarter didn't tell us that, that was going to be the case at halftime. But nonetheless, Penn Hills up by 1.
And these are Aliquippa's point totals in their wins this year. 93 against Beaver Falls, 62 against Northgate, 85 against Freedom, 78 against Farrell, 71 Uniontown, 80 Riverside, 84-24. They beat New Brighton by 60. They scored 57 points against Elwood City. That is the lowest that they've scored in a win this season. And then 76 against Mohawk, 60 against Beaver Falls, and the 87 that they scored last night against Freedom. They're only on pace for about 40 points in this game.
And something we haven't mentioned is there are only 3 losses of the year. Those were all from outside of the WPIAL. Yep. So they have not lost to a WPIAL team just yet, but Penn Hills going to give them a game here.
Losses against Mentor, Ohio. That was at the Central Valley Roundball Classic in Geneva College. Got a chance to watch that one. Erie Cathedral Prep and Richmond Heights, Ohio. So if you play in Ohio or Erie, you have beaten Aliquippa. If you play in Western Pennsylvania, you have not. But we'll see if Penn Hills can change that in a 1 point game as the second half is up next for North Hills.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair?
Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No! Annoying! Never! I'm the king of the
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
Keep it here all month long as JRM Sports brings you the best high school basketball matchups in the WPIAL. This is Steel City High School Hoops. All the dunks, the buzzer beaters, and the three-pointers. Only on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
Back for the second half in a 1 point game. Penn Hills leading Aliquippa as we begin the third quarter of play. Austin Bechtold and Nathan Breisinger alongside here on SportsNet Pittsburgh. It's been an up and down season for Penn Hills. They started the year with a 3-game losing streak, then a 3-game winning streak, then a 3-game losing streak, then a 2-game winning streak, a loss, and has won 3 games in a row. They begin on defense as Aliquippa will attack the left side basket as you see it. And down low to Gaskins, which is blocked on the way up from Clark. Second chance effort doesn't go. Outlet, good. 3. Left it short, but a foul down low on the rebound attempt, which will go against Aliquippa. They're going to get Mikey Gaskins for his first.
We talked about the roller coaster of a season that Penn Hills has had, and they're 2 years removed from a WPIAL championship in 2023. But a lot of these guys were young freshmen, most likely not playing on those teams, a team led by Robbie Thomas and Damar Kelly, Noah Barron, and Julian Duggar, who's at Pitt right now, the quarterback. True freshman season, saw him at the end of the year. So it's been 2 years since that championship, but a lot has changed, and there's a lot of growing to do. And you've seen it as late as of late with Penn Hills as they sort of come along and have won a handful of games here as of late.
Got to see Julian Duggar in an overtime game that seemed like it was maybe going to break the record against Toledo for the most overtimes at 6. Didn't get to the Indiana-Penn State game of 9. I think there was one other game. But Ramon Hawthorne is able to connect for a 3. He now has 7 points. It's his first triple. Leads up to 4.
Big way to open up this half. Ramon Hawthorne getting more and more in rhythm here. And that was a little bit off of that 3-point arc, too. A little bit of a deep shot from Hawthorne.
And Pratt gets pickpocketed, but out of bounds will stay here as Josh Pratt. We saw it at the end of the first half, and now we're seeing it at the start of this second half. When Penn Hills is really up in his face defending with solid on-ball pressure, he hasn't been able to get around it one-on-one.
Well, that was the key coming into this game for Chris Giles. He talked about needing to stay in the gaps, really play up tight and personal against Pratt, and you're really starting to see that a lot here.
Pratt with space, left hand too strong, rebounded by Knoll. Swings it over to Clark near side. Calix Clark drives, keeps his pivot foot, looks for an outlet, bounces it. Way up, blocked on the way up. There's Todd Bishop. Shot was rejected. I think it might have been Gaskins.
It was. Went straight up with that. Excellent defense.
So Cam Glenn will throw it in at the right side block. Wasn't expecting the ball as he was trying to get his teammates sorted out for the inbounds. And instead, now Hawthorne is signaling that he's going to inbound the ball as he went out of bounds to take it. So it'll be Hawthorne to chuck it in for Penn Hills. Gets it right in, but taken away. Up the floor goes Pratt. Pratt bounces, shot, misses. Good on the follow. Offensive foul they're going to call over the back on Good. And that's the 4th foul on Khalil Good. 4 fouls, wow, on Good.
It's a tough foul, but you see here, you know, he comes from behind there and just too aggressive getting in there. Didn't have the clear lane for the rebound. Didn't have the right to the ball and just gonna call him for that offensive foul.
So Antonio Reddick has to come in for Aliquippa. Hawthorne. Pratt defending. Hawthorne gets it back. Swinging around. Good move. Shot up, but misses for Clark to grab the rebound. And Clark steps out of bounds. 5:41 to go in the third quarter. 23-19. Aliquippa yet to score in the third quarter.
And Clark running there, head up with the ball, but never realized he was that close to the line. And yeah, I mean, we've seen this Aliquippa shooting slump here. Nearly 2.5 minutes into this third quarter, much like Penn Hills struggled early in the first quarter.
But Pratt gets it to rattle in. Now 15 points for Josh Pratt. Only had 2 points in the second quarter and cuts it to a 2-point game. They're trying to set up Clark backdoor. Hawthorne gets away from trouble. Hawthorne now on the perimeter. Bounces it to Glenn. Guarded by Gaskins. Cam Glenn gets a screen. Pratt tips it and throws it to Gaskins. Gaskin, open lane, left hand, finishes. Mikey Gaskins now with 4 points in the game to tie it up at 23.
Josh Pratt continues to be a defensive menace, just able to get that ball loose, and Gaskins, no one's following him, and able to go down for a rather easy bucket.
Calix Clark for 3. Rebound, fought for, on the floor. Picked up by Glenn. Glenn will go to the line. Take a look at the Aliquippa steal and score for Mikey Gaskins. Right into your kitchen. Right into our cameraman, Evan Laurent.
And Calix Clark really didn't want to get in there and force a foul. Just tried enough to get Gaskins to miss, but he's able to convert. But the one thing about Penn Hills since that first quarter, they've really picked up the intensity, the fight here, especially on the offensive glass. And they're getting these secondary opportunities because of that. And it's led to this opportunity to jump back in front.
Second free throw good for Glenn. He's now 2 of 3 at the line to give Penn Hills a 1-point lead. Hunt returns, Jordan Hunt for Penn Hills. Council still can't get on the board. Ball is ripped away though by Reddick, whose left hand gets fouled on the shot attempt.
Penn Hills foul on number 42, Jaden Knoll, his second, team first of the quarter.
Jaden Knoll is called for his second foul. As Reddick gets the first. Tied up at 24. Reddick to give the Quips the lead. Can't do it. Rebounded by Penn Hills. Trying to outlet. Hawthorne grabs it, but out of bounds first. Clark stepped on the baseline.
Re-entering for the Indians, number 20, Cody Hunt.
Cody Hunt returns for Penn Hills. As Reddick will throw it in right near the left side block. It's to Pratt. Pratt has to retreat right near half court. Pratt through his legs a couple of times. Dribbles into a three. Off the front of the rim. Reddick deflects it out of bounds.
There's Reddick again, and Aliquippa just, anytime that ball gets into the Penn Hills, into their hands, I mean, they're just so active. Always trying to force something.
Cody Hunt almost lost it.
See it again here.
And a jump ball is called. Aliquippa wanted to travel. Instead, the possession arrow keeps it here.
And you can tell at times Penn Hills wants to play like Aliquippa, be aggressive, but this is just a staple of Aliquippa's game. I mean, just so tough to move around, so aggressive.
Aggressive, physical, and relentless to the basketball. Both teams have played a pretty decently similar style of game today. As it was intended for Clark on the pass that went out of bounds.
And you know, we talked about the toughness, the physicality that Aliquippa brings, and some teams don't. Some teams, that's all they need to be good. But on top of that, this Aliquippa team has the talent. Nick Lakovich believes this is a more talented team than won a state championship and a WPIAL championship last year.
That was interesting to hear him say that. And you wonder if it's because of Jeremiah Pratt and how Josh Pratt's taken another step, and Khalil Good has taken another step, and Gaskins is a senior, and Banks is a senior, and how Council now another year in the program. You imagine that that's probably one reason why he might think that, because they're more experienced as a team.
And one at full strength, I mean, this can be a very scary team. A team that moves up from Class 2A to 3A in a Section 1 with Mohawk, Elwood City, New Brighton, Riverside, Freedom, Beaver Falls. So, and they're at the top of that, 8-0 so far.
Reddick gets it over the timeline. Guarded by Cody Hunt. Throws it into traffic, and it's Reddick who ends up with it. Foul called on the floor.
Indians foul on number 14, Jordan Hunt.
The foul goes on Jordan Hunt. Second foul on Hunt. Second foul against Penn Hills in the quarter. As Pratt, they will swing it to Reddick. Reddick's played a lot of minutes tonight for Aliquippa. Gaskins can't get it to go. Last touch by Reddick. And it's out of bounds to Penn Hills.
Reddick went hard into the paint and then didn't realize that ball was there for him to grab, but also he looked down and he was out of bounds.
Could
have been a charge,
Could have been, yeah.
Didn't even try to draw it.
Didn't even see that originally, yeah. Went in there hard. Knocked over a Penn Hills defender in the lane.
Stolen away. Banks, layup, will shoot two.
Penn Hills has to find a way to escape this pressure that Aliquippa is bringing, but every time you get past one wave, there's another just waiting for you. Just how they've been playing and that's how good they are.
Amon Hawthorne has now picked up his third, Nathan, so that's a big foul for Penn Hills. Hawthorne with 7 points, including a 3 in the quarter. First free throw good for Banks. Banks was held scoreless before that shot. It gives Aliquippa a 2-point lead. Banks almost picked up a foul as Cody Hunt gets double teamed. Looks for an outlet. Good pass down low. Cody to Jordan. The Hunts connect to tie it up at 26. Foul called on Aiden Thompson. A ton of pressure against Reddick. Take another look at the good find from Cody Hunt to find Jordan Hunt.
You see Council coming in, trying to knock that away, but excellent vision to get it inside and finish there.
Not hunting for points, taking what's there. Plus the foul for Pratt.
Josh Pratt and 1.
Josh Pratt up to 17 in the game. Driving to his left. The way that Pratt is just able to move in midair to set himself up for a good shot. It's pretty impressive as Cody Hunt picks up the foul. It's his third. And Pratt can't get it to roll in. Fight for the rebound into the hands of Council. Tipped around another few times, resulting in a jump ball.
Jump ball.
As Council and Bishop tied it up.
Possession quits.
Pratt can't finish. As Thompson, it's kicked.
Oh no, on to Brandon Rossi at the scores table.
Yeah, our PA announcer. We'll see. I think there's going to be discussion here right at the scores table about something.
Clock will be reset.
Might be the clock.
2:33.
Pratt kicked that pretty far away.
Thompson gets it into Hawthorne. Swung across to Cody Hunt. Shot up. And out of bounds, staying here.
Re-entering for the Clips, number 5, Khalil Good.
Khalil Good returns for Aliquippa with the 4 fouls. Only 4 points in the game. As Hawthorne throws it in to Thompson, to the corner. Hawthorne has an open look, able to corral, but another miss.
If he doesn't drop that, I think that he has an excellent look right there, wide open, but just sort of took him out of his rhythm there once he dropped that to the floor.
Gaskins, no foul called, straight up, as Good has it. Swinging it over to Banks. Banks traveled, put the shot up, and just
he tried.
Never released the ball.
Yeah, it stuck to his hands like glue. Kind of maybe second guessing what either he wanted to shoot it or move it,
right.
And he got caught in between. Because he was wide open, things sort of parted for him.
Thompson to Clark for the bucket. Calix Clark ties it up at 28. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Reddick has space, blocked on the way up by Clark. Loose ball recovered by Bishop on the fight for it. Now Hawthorne with Clark calling for it, turns it over. Back to Penn Hills. Cody Hunt all the way in, push first, no shot on the floor. It's the 4th foul in the quarter on Aliquippa.
Back and forth we go, ball exchanging hands multiple times. And Hawthorne, or Clark rather, had an opportunity there to get the momentum rolling for Penn Hills and put them back in front.
The foul goes on Gaskins. It's his second. Council returns. Throw it into Clark. Clark spins, turns, puts it up. Pratt with the rebound. Pratt to Good. Good drives in, floater, yes. Khalil Good has scored in all 3 quarters, but he only has 1 bucket in each quarter.
Been consistent at that, but just a smooth shot and release there from Good to get it to fall.
Hawthorne in the final minute, bounces it to Thompson. Thompson guarded by Good. Timeout called by Penn Hills.
Timeout, Penn Hills.
Take another look at how Good was able to create offensively.
Really, once he got in there, you can see Calix Clark really didn't want to get too involved defensively there. Both him and Gaskins just sort of watched as Good came in and released that floater.
A fun one here in a 2-point game, and there's much more basketball upcoming in the Steel City High School Hoops Showcase on SportsNet Pittsburgh. North Hills will play against Pine Richland. You saw North Hills earlier today. That game at 7:30 from Pine Richland on SportsNet Pittsburgh. Now we talked to Chris Giles. He was saying, didn't really think it was going to be this same style of tough, physical, like a football game, maybe one that Ty Law and Aaron Donald would be happy and proud of for their alma maters, but it's been a low-scoring affair between two teams just delivering punch after punch to each other, blow after blow, just continuing to go back and forth. And it's going to come down to who's last standing in the 10th round.
And it's interesting for Aliquippa because they don't have either of their forwards that they had last year who play football.
Hawthorne from long range connects. 10 points for Amon Hawthorne, 2 triples in the quarter, 1-point lead for Penn Hills. Pratt trying to dribble away from traffic and Clark. Banks has it. Here's Good, giving it over to Pratt. Pratt, the final 24 seconds of the quarter. Mikey Gaskins on the perimeter. Back to Banks. Trying to set up Good. They give it to him right near half court. 10 seconds for Khalil Good. Good got it poked away by Hawthorne. Still inbounds. Hawthorne looks for an outlet. Bounces it. Clark. Clark with 3 seconds. Puts it up too strong. Rebounded by Council. Long range for Pratt before the buzzer's off the front of the rim.
He's the type of sharpshooter that you want to shoot it deep beyond the line. Type of opportunity there at the buzzer.
We're in for a photo finish. To the fourth quarter we go. Penn Hills leads by 1 on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services including camera inspections and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
Disney Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Concert Tour. A one-of-a-kind concert experience coming summer 2025. Live on stage, singing all the hits. Tickets on sale now at DescendantZombiesLive.com.
At Leway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Leway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Leway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
Keep it here all month long as JRM Sports brings you the best high school basketball matchups in the Whitfield. This is Steel City High School Hoops. All the dunks, the buzzer beaters, and the three-pointers. Only on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
The PBC Hall of Fame Classic is brought to you by our presenting sponsors, including Solutions 21, Visimo, and First National Bank. And you're in for a thrilling fourth quarter of high school hoops with a 1-point lead for the Penn Hills Indians against the Aliquippa Clips. Pass to the corner, three-pointer up, and in! Hawthorne turns around to the bench, and a couple of high fives all around. With a money ball three for a 4-point lead. Answered on the other end by Reddick.
Hawthorne is scorching hot, but then Reddick just returns the favor with his own three, his first field goal of the game.
Clark off the front of the rim. Hawthorne now with 13 points and 3 triples. Good dribbles into a three. Spins out. Hawthorne with a rebound. Amon Hawthorne with the basketball. 1-point lead for Penn Hills. Knoll back to Glenn. Bounce pass, almost taken away by Gaskins. Here's Pratt on the other end. Josh Pratt all the way in left hand, plus the foul. Josh Pratt, three-point play opportunity as Cam Glenn got back too late and picks up his second. Good run to the basket by Josh Pratt to take the contact. It was like there was no contact at all against Pratt. As Pratt now has 20 in the game.
Pratt completes a three-point play.
And the one thing about Pratt right now, he's been just taking the ball to the hoop with authority, and he has 2 threes in this game, both coming in the first quarter, so he's not taking as many looks. Penn Hills has also guarded him much better out beyond the arc, but Pratt can do it everywhere, and so you see him taking it towards the hoop and finishing and adding to that at the line.
So Hawthorne averages 17 a game. Same thing with Clark. Clark with 10 in the game. Hawthorne has 13. They throw it into Clark, and Clark pump fakes and scores. Calix Clark has scored in all 4 quarters. The only player to do that for Penn Hills. The only player on the opposite side to do that for Aliquippa is Josh Pratt, who has the ball now, guarded by Clark. Pratt gets around Clark all the way in. Nifty move to find space and score.
Up and under goes Josh Pratt.
2-point lead for Aliquippa. 6:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Bounce pass to Clark. Glenn knocked away, taken by the Clips. Pass out to Good. Good slams it in. Khalil Good. Showtime for Aliquippa, up by 4.
And there's the timeout from Chris Giles, the high-flying Quips. Going down defense to offense, per usual from Aliquippa.
8 points for Khalil Good, dealing with the 4 fouls and slamming it down with authority. Josh Pratt loves it, and why not? As the Quips are fired up in what's been a second half that Penn Hills has led by narrow margins. They have not been able to pull away, and it's kept the Quips in the game where when you blink, Aliquippa fights back.
And again, just going back, hammering that same point of how good and active defensively they are, intense, up in your face, and with the way this game was unfolding, I mean, you needed a defensive stop either way. Just at this point, we haven't seen much of it, but there was a stretch here where no one was missing when there's been a lot of missed buckets in the first and second quarter and the third, but now it was trading buckets back and forth, but Aliquippa gets a big stop and a momentum slam from Khalil Good.
And you can take a lot of momentum from that slam from Good, too. Like, now that's a big high-energy play from Khalil Good. Good as it gets for the Clips. And now a 4-point lead, 40-36, under 6 left to go. Bounce pass, stole away again, behind the back. Good, gives it off. Reddick, layup, gets fouled. 2 free throws upcoming for Antonio Reddick, trying to extend the Aliquippa lead.
Number 15, Todd Bishop.
Another turnover from Penn Hills as Todd Bishop picks up the foul. Penn Hills has just given the Quips opportunities in the last 2 minutes.
You know, as much as Penn Hills has turned over the ball in this game, I mean, it's just so impressive what Aliquippa was able to do. The speed that they play with to get in there and get a hand on it just about every time. I mean, what, Austin? There might be maybe 1-2 possessions where Aliquippa has not gotten a hand defensively on the ball.
Reddick goes 1 of 2. Rebounded to Gaskins. Great pass by Council off the rebound.
Score by Mikey Gaskins.
Hawthorne trying to will his team back in it. Guarded well by Reddick. Will pass him off to Good. With a high 2-3 zone by Aliquippa. Clark converts, same spot he made his last shot. Now with 14 points for Calix Clark. It's a 5-point lead for the Clips.
Much needed bucket there from Clark. Get this team back some points on the board after a little run there by Aliquippa.
Pratt, left side elbow, got it. Nothing but net for Josh Pratt. 24 on the night. Hawthorne pulls up straight on 3. Misses, rebound pulled down by Aliquippa. Marcus Council has not scored in this game, but his impact passing the ball and defensive rebound has been felt, and now he's on the board.
Marcus Council with the
Great on cue. But again, Penn Hills tried to go with the double there on Josh Pratt.
And a carry called against Galix Clark. You don't see it often, but we've seen it twice in this game. Good find from Council to Gaskins for the layup. Clark was able to answer on the other end, but the lead is now grown to 9 points for Aliquippa.
Checking in is number 11, Rashawn Banks.
Coach Lakovich, that's like what he's seen from his depth scoring off the bench as it's passed down low to Council, who can't score. Second chance for good, just goes up in a sea of trees to grab the ball and finishes. There were 4 different players there, all trying to grab at the basketball. Tall players on the floor as Clark can't answer off the back of the rim.
There it is again, the
Another
carry. That was another blatant one. I mean, he had the ball. He had his palm underneath the ball.
So here's the shot from Council, and Good just appears out of nowhere to grab the basketball.
Just so impressive to just get that off while still hanging in the air. And all of a sudden, this game was tied, and now Aliquippa up by 11.
Inbounds to Hawthorne, half the quarter gone by. Penn Hills is going to have to try to cut the deficit quickly, but another turnover. Good hands from Aliquippa. Josh Pratt all the way in, left hand finishes.
Josh Pratt takes it coast to coast.
26 points now for the junior. That's averaging 22 on the year. He just continues to find a way to get the ball into the bottom of the bucket.
Hawthorne can't finish on the floater. Fight for the rebound. Clark tries to tip it around. It bounces off a couple of different players. And a timeout is called by Penn Hills. Take another look at the steal and score for Josh Pratt. Aliquippa now up double digits. And again, if you blink, Aliquippa can jump on you. And that's exactly what's happened, Nate, in this fourth quarter where it was tight. Penn Hills had a 1-point lead, but Aliquippa has just done a great job of being able to pounce in this fourth quarter. And you can find real-time content and highlights at our JRM Sports social media pages on Twitter, X. You can find it all right there, all the highlights on Instagram and YouTube as well. Follow it and see all the content and highlights at JRM Sports.
Going to be plenty of highlights from Josh Pratt tonight, up to 26 points. And again, as we talked about, started from outside the arc, hit a couple of trays, and then has really just done an excellent job getting inside and then also making offense happen after a couple turnovers from Penn Hills. And this game was a 1-point game, as you talked about, roughly a 16-2 run here for Aliquippa.
And that's the firepower that Aliquippa has, where it starts on defense, turns into quick offense, and the speed and quickness that Aliquippa has. You look up at the scoreboard and you wonder, wow, that's the score right now? That's the differential that Aliquippa has put up on the board?
In the span of like 2 minutes, too.
Pretty
which
impressive.
Is just insane the way Aliquippa can do this. And another reason why they're the favorite in Class 3A right now.
Pratt is fouled. Will be 2 shots.
Penn Hills foul.
And for Aliquippa this year, they own 14 WPIAL titles in basketball. If they win another one, they claim the outright record for the moment ahead of Newcastle, both tied with 14 apiece. And it's just come so easily over the years for them, just how successful they've been. And for Nick Lakovich to talk about that, this team, he likes this team. He thinks this team's better than last year's team.
Than last year's team. It's just insane to think about. Because last year's team was 26-5 overall. They were 10-0 in section play. Remember, they moved up from 2A to 3A this year, and they're still beating up on everybody. Where in the championship game against Greensburg Central Catholic at the Pete, it was a 69-32 game. It wasn't even close in the championship. and then they win states against Holy Cross by 22 and put up 74 points.
And really, I mean, got to see what team challenges them here going into the postseason. South Allegheny out of Section 3, currently 14-2, 5-0 in their section. So Aliquippa a pretty good path for themselves.
Stolen away by Penn Hills. Up the floor, Cody Hunt can't finish. Follow is corralled by Clark. Clark gets double teamed. And there's just no outlet for Clark to throw it to. He almost threw it away. It goes to Hawthorne. Hawthorne is able to collect himself and score. Coach Giles said they needed 20 out of Hawthorne at least. They've gotten 15. And a timeout called by Aliquippa as it's a 12-point game with 2 minutes and change. Take a short break at North Hills and be back after this on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
Complicated payment processing slowing you down? Tired of the same old event management system? Wishing your donation campaigns could run themselves? We can help. Whether you're with a corporation, EMS agency, fire department, school, or small business, eServices Payment Technology has something for you. What started as a top-notch payment processing system has turned into a digital phenomenon. Digital payments, membership management, fund drive optimization, marketing consulting, and reserved seating. Yes, schools, I'm talking to you. If you have a payment, we have a simplified process. Visit eServicesTech.com today to organize your organization.
Penn Hills talking it over right now, looking for some offense with Chris Giles' team at 7-1 in their section, 5A, Section 2, but they're 8-7 overall, 0-3 at neutral sites, and it's trending to become 0-4.
And for Penn Hills, there are two guys that are averaging about 17 points a game, Calix Clark and Amon Hawthorne. Hawthorne with 15, Clark with 14, but that's been about it for Penn Hills. They really have not had any additional scoring. And it took a while for Hawthorne to get going, and now things have cooled off for this Penn Hills offense.
Yeah, Thompson has 3, Glenn has 4. As it's swung around to Banks, and now Aliquippa can just keep burning as much time as possible with a 12-point lead and take an open shot when it's there. They'll back it out again into the hands of Good. To the corner in Banks. Back up to Good. Bounce pass, Gaskins. Good find, Council. Got knocked away, and it's last touch by Aliquippa. It was a good ball movement until the very end.
And for Aliquippa now, no really need for urgency. Can take as much off the clock as you want, but try to get it inside, and eventually now in the hands of Penn Hills. Trying to do whatever they can to claw away at a couple more points, get back in this one.
Hawthorne rims out. It's a good look for Hawthorne. Deep shot, too. As a jump ball's called, and the possession arrow favors Aliquippa.
Possession, Aliquippa.
Would have been a big shot for Hawthorne if he could have made it. Cut this deficit and make it more manageable, but now it's Pratt, guarded by Hawthorne, trying to force a steal. Pratt behind his back. Gets away from the defense, gets it back from Banks. Double team comes. Good find to Good, down low, Good. We'll go to the line.
Indians foul on number 20, Cody Hunt. That's his 4th.
Cody Hunt picks up his 4th foul. It's also the 4th on Penn Hills. Has Khalil Good, who averages 16 points per game. 8 rebounds, is taking a huge step forward for this Aliquippa team this season, and he makes the first.
Penn Hills, number 21, Marcus Dorsey.
Marcus Dorsey subs in for Penn Hills. Coach Slakovich also said, quoting Mike Tomlin, the standard is the standard at Aliquippa. That's why they're able to keep up this level of consistency. As Clark pulls up from the elbow, but misses and rebounded by Good. Up the floor to Pratt for another layup.
Gaskins finds Josh Pratt.
29 for Josh Pratt. Hawthorne cross court. Through the defense, Hunt will shoot 2. And Penn Hills averages 61 points per game, only has 40 with 38 seconds left.
And we talked about how they opened this game. It took them 5 minutes to get on the board from the floor, had a couple free throws about 4 minutes into the game. So just from the jump, Aliquippa, or rather Penn Hills, struggled a little offensively. They found their rhythm behind Hawthorne and Calix Clark early on in the second and third quarter, and then now it's really gone quiet from there.
We knew that ball pressure and playing in transition for Aliquippa at times when they needed it was going to be the main key. And that's what they did. Forcing steals, capitalizing off of it, points off turnovers. The main difference in the fourth quarter for Aliquippa to build what's become a 14-point lead. And now the Quips just dribbling it out. Down low, why not? Take the layup, up for Banks. His first field goal. Clark will take the uncontested layup and ends the game with 16 points as Aliquippa wins it 57-43 against Penn Hills. And what was a close game at the end of the third quarter, Aliquippa storms back to go up 14 and claim a victory.
And it was an all-around effort from this team, and that's just how they've been all year long. Great defense, even better offense. Josh Pratt, 29 points, 2 triples early on, but from there on out, it was all down the lane, in the paint, working on fast break steals, and a ton of credit to the way Aliquippa's defense was just so active, getting hands in. Don't know the count, but man, they had a ton of steals, ton of forced turnovers on this Penn Hills team.
Aliquippa has now won 5 games in a row. 12-3 overall on the season for Aliquippa. And the winning streak against WPIL teams continues. It rolls on. Only 3 losses, and it is all against teams outside of this area. As Hawthorne and Pratt are honored as the players of the game at midcourt, and Aliquippa walks away with a victory, 57-43 against Penn Hills. The Quips are victorious, and we thank you for watching the PBC Hall of Fame Classic for North Hills. For everyone on our crew, including Jake Mislichik and Ryan Myland, and for Nathan Breisinger, I'm Asa Bechtel saying so long for North Hills. Enjoy the rest of your basketball weekend.